co-host. හරි හරි.
Samantha Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadhangmang Munira Jasa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadangta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadangta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadangta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Ukkhita punyate jena kamarupa gating gata Bhavaggattampi sangpatta punagachanti duggating Kamadikha satta cavanti ayusa sankhaya Natti koci bhavo nicco iti uttang mahesina Tasma hidhira nipaka nipunatha chintaka Jara marana kaya bhavingti magga muttamang Bhavayitva sucing maggang nibbanodaгаminang Sabba bhave parinyaya parinibbanti anasava. Most venerable members of the Mahasangha in the Amara Vihara, San Jose, I also let me at the very outset express my gratitude for the abbot of the temple, Venerable Amara Buddhi, and Venerable Chandima, Venerable Santa, and all the resident monks, and also the devotees who invited me for this Dhamma talk. And I also would like to invoke blessings upon Amara Buddhi Haudro for his quick recovery from the sickness that he is suffering from at the moment. I was requested to give a Dhamma talk on Dhamma Hadaya Sutta. This is a really a deep, a profound teaching actually, which appears in Vibhanga Pakarana, that is Abhidhamma Pitaka. So Dhammahadaya Sutta is the 18th chapter, the last chapter of Vibhanga Pakarana. And this one is really a very interesting teaching in different ways, we can say, especially with regard to the Buddhist cosmology. This sutta can be really interesting if you are interested in learning about the different realms of the universe, like the Deva realms, Brahma realms, their lifespans, and how they are born there, and what kind of attributes do they have. And all these are really beautifully explained in detail. And also many other factors are explained here in detail in this particular sutta. So Dhammahadaya Sutta is, in that way, is really important. And many of us are also interested in Deva world and the Brahma world. And some are like in different worlds, different cultural systems in the world, we can see how people respect the Devas and how they actually offer flowers, offer fruits, and also I've seen people like requesting many things from the Devas. I'm not sure if any of you are doing that practice as well. So for those people who are interested in actually associating with the Devas, I also would highly recommend some of the Devas if you are interested in. One is Chatu Maharajika Deva, the 4 guardian angels. They are very close to the Buddha, very keen followers of the Buddha. And then we also have the Buddha's mother, what we call Matru Divyaraja. Queen Mahamaya, when passed away after 7 days of the birth of Prince Siddhartha, she was born in the Tavatinsa realm. She was a very powerful deity there. So Matru Divyaraja is someone whom you can really very seriously consider. Matru Divyaraja is so much important to us because she is the mother of the Buddha, and also she is already an arahanta, enlightened, liberated celestial being. So in that case, we don't necessarily have to transfer merit to her, because she has already come out of those defilements, and she will not be born anymore in the world. And then also we have Anathapindika Devaraja. So Anathapindika, he was very close associate of the Buddha once again. Anathapindika was a Deva after his passing away, and he is a Sotapanna person already. And also one of the most important disciples of the Buddha, who built Jetavana monastery. And the Buddha lived there 19 years in Jetavana monastery alone. Nowhere else did the Buddha live, did the Buddha spend his rains retreat other than this wonderful, wonderful Jetavana monastery. So I highly recommend you think of these devas. And then we also have some other devas, of course. And in the Brahma realm, we have Sahampati, Brahma, Raja, and then the Mahabrahma Raja, and also Ghatikar Brahma Raja, some of those great Brahma kings who have been so closely associated with the Buddha. Interestingly, in the Ghatikara Sutta, there is a beautiful encounter of Ghatikara, Brahma king, with the Buddha, and how he was a former friend of Jyotipala, a young man, when he was born in a previous Buddha's time. I think it is Vipassi Buddha's time, if I'm not mistaken. And during that time, Ghatikara was a potter, but he was also like Anathapindika. He was a very devoted disciple of the Buddha. And that time, Ghatikara, he actually invited Bodhisattva, the current Shakyamuni Buddha, Gautama Buddha. Previously, he was the Bodhisattva, and that time he invited him. And to come to the Buddha, to see the Buddha, to pay respect to the Buddha, to listen to the Dhamma. And Jyotipala, the young man, was not interested. Interesting story is there. So I'm not going to go into details because I think I have to discuss more things here. So that that shows that Ghatikara was a former friend of this wonderful Shakyamuni Buddha, and later he came and they had a discussion, and also it is said the Buddha was meditating exactly where the Vipassi Buddha or Tanhankara Buddha, maybe, I'm not sure. He was meditating. So two Buddhas were meditating at the same place. That's another interesting story. So those who are interested in Devas and Brahmas, I think some of these are already mentioned in our Buddhist literature. Think of them. There are many, many cases where those Devas and Brahmas actually have come to help us in many, many different ways. They can be so wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends. And some of those Brahmas and Devas actually have helped those people who have been formerly friends of them. So when they were humans, sometimes they forget their past. So those Devas and Brahmas have come to them, reminded them, and also let them meet those good Kalyana Mitta friends, and also they made them easy, comfortable to learn the Dhamma, to associate, to meet the Dhamma teachers. That is why I think we need to think of it seriously. If you are interested in Devas and Brahmas, I think it makes sense if you do that, because they can do so much. Even the king of God, what we call in Buddhism, king of God, Sakka Deva, another very powerful Deva. Again, very, very closely associated with the Buddha. He is very interested in people like you. He likes very much. It is said he would pay respect to those people who observe Sila every single day. Now you are observing 8 precepts. So these Devas and these Brahmas can really feel very happy about you. The more you are practicing, the more you are closely associated with those Devas and Brahmas, and you will be under the radar of those Devas and Brahmas. So I highly recommend, if you are interested in Devas and Brahmas, think of them. Having said that, I also would like to say the reality of this. The Buddha says in Dhamma Sutta, Ukkhitta punya tejena kama rupa gating gata Bhavagatampi sampatta punagachanti duggati. Being thrown up by the power of merit, go to existence in the planes of desire and form. Ukhitta punyatejena means you are elevated by the power of the merit. Kama rupa gatingata, and then they will go to the existence of the karma world, sensual realm, what we call 11 kinds of sensual realms. Human realm, and then also the 4 lower realms, and also it can be karma world, can also be 6 deva realms. When it comes to rupa worlds, that is the Brahma realm. We will go into more details about these devas and brahmas. And bhavagatampi sampata punagachanti duggating. So bhavaga is called the actually what we call the final, the last Brahma realm. And even if you go to the last Brahma realm, there is no guarantee that you will be able to attain the Nibbana. You can come back. Puna agachanti, you will come back. And if you continue to engage in unnecessary, unwanted, or unmindful things, you might be born again in the lower realm, duggating. So there is a great danger. There is a great danger that we come back and be born in the lower realm. So it's really, really terrible. I mean, terrifying if we think of it. Our mindfulness can be shattered anytime, and we might lose our mindfulness. And during our lifetime, if we do such things, engage in such unwholesome practices, then there is a chance that we are born in the lower realms. Once we are in the lower realms, it is really, again, very unfortunate, very sad, infinite, long-lasting lifespan over there, suffering infinitely in the pitch of darkness. So, kama digha yuka satta chavanti ayu sankhaya natti kochi bhavo nicho iti buttang mahesina. Even beings having such a long life fall from exhaustion of life. No existence impermanent. Thus was said by the great sage. Therefore, indeed, the wise who are prudent, skillful thinkers of betterment, to be free from old age and death, develop the highest path. Having developed the pure path, merging into, leading to Nibbana, comprehending all the defilements, free from defilements, they attain to final release. So, the karma worlds, karma digayuka satta, when you and I, when we do engage in lots and lots of good karma as humans, we can have a long life. Then we can be born in better realms, and the lifespan is so long. I will go into that detail a little later. But then again, even though as long as you live like eons and eons in the Brahma realm, or many, many thousands of celestial years in the Deva realm, or even as human realms, human realm actually is very, very impermanent. The lifespan is impermanent. But in the Deva realms and the Brahma realm, their lifespan is more or less already determined. Although they also can change, those world systems can also be destroyed. But the lifespan here in the human realm can go as long as to the one asankhya, it is said, incalculable time period. People can live as humans. And also, so long as we all are engaged in doing many unwholesome deeds, the lifespan of humanity, human beings, can also lower, as lower as to, it is said, 10 years, 10 human years. So that's really interesting. And also the lower realms, Naraka, Tirachana, Peta, Asura, those lower realms are also having really long time. So sometimes we need to remember the Buddha has actually his primordial attention was to lead all sentient beings to the Nibbana. That was definitely the fundamental, the essential intention of the Buddha. But there are some cases that the Buddha has intervened in many occasions to rescue the people being born in the lower realm. He did not want the sentient beings to be born in the lower realm, because that is a very unfortunate situation to follow. That's why he paid more attention to such cases. For example, the story of what you call Matta Kundali. Matta Kundali was a young man who did not have Dhamma. His father was very a person who was not generous. He was not taking care of the son. He was very stingy person. And that time it is said, luckily for him, the young man, when he was at the deathbed, almost about to die, the Buddha appeared in front of him. Actually, he was facing towards the wall, sleeping, waiting for his death, and the Buddha appeared, sent a ray of light, because of which the young man turned around and saw the Buddha with so much loving kindness and compassion, and seeing that Buddha's image, Buddha's rupa, right in front of him, he was so overwhelmed with peace and happiness. And with that Chutichitta, the last thought, he passed away. So he was born as in a celestial realm because his Chutichitta was good. And the Buddha did intervene with some purpose, because with the help of Matta Kundali, as a deva, when he came back to remind to his family, his father, and what he achieved after having seen the Buddha, he actually encouraged his father and the family and many hundreds and thousands of his relatives and friends to be led into the right path. Therefore, the Buddha's intervention was very timely on the one hand, and also he had that intention to rescue that person from being born into the lower realm. And then when he was born as a celestial being, he came back and rescued many other of his friends and relatives. So that's another case. So even though you are born in a celestial realm or Brahma realm, there is no guarantee that you can come back. Chavanti ayu sankhaya, you can come back to this world. Nati kochi bhavo nicho, there is no permanent bhava, permanent existence. Iti uttang mahesina, thus was said by the great sage, the Blessed One. Tasmahi dhira nipaka. Therefore, dhira, the wise people. Nipaka, the smart people, the skillful people. Nibbana, Nipuna, Attha Chintaka, thinkers of betterment, skillful and thinkers of betterment. And Jara Marana Mukkhaya, he will work towards the elimination of Jara and Marana, that is decay and birth, decay and death. Bhaventi Maggamuttamang, Bhaventi Maggamuttamang, they will develop, they will cultivate the noble path. Bhavayitva Suching Maggan. So this noble path is none other than the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay. Bhavayitva Suching Maggan Nibbano the Gaminam Sabba Bhave Parinyaya Parinibbanti Anasava. Bhavayitva Suching Maggan, having developed, having cultivated the Suching Maggan means the pure path. Nibbano the Gaminam, that leads to Nibbana. Sabba Bhave Parinyaya, having completely finished, destroyed, or having completely comprehended the all kinds of bhave or existences. Parinibbanti Anasava, they will be liberated. Anasava, without any asavas. Kama, bhava, ditti, avidya. So without these asavas, without these defilements, without these cankers, all of them will be completely eradicated without leaving any trace of defilement whatsoever. They will be liberated. They will be free from this sansaric misery. These are actually the four stanzas that I find, although the Dhamma Sutta is a very profound sutta and also so much details. I have gone through the entire sutta, and I found these four stanzas are like the essence of it. So the essential teaching of the message of this sutta is just this. So we need to cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay. So having said that, I would say, I would like to actually, I don't know if you can see the can you see the screen if I show? Okay, let me see. I have a presentation. I think I was teaching actually a course, so I thought this would be very helpful. Let me see. Yeah. Even though you are not able to see right now, maybe later on you can see that. I'm not sure how it's working. Chandi Mahandro, can you see that?
Yes,
Yeah.
the front row, the front rows can see, but the back rows won't.
I know.
Instructor number 1, primary, Bhante Sumitta.
Okay, I just actually, yeah. So this is the course I was doing actually. So I thought this is very helpful. So this comes from Manual of Abhidhamma by Venerable Narada, and also I recommend you also can read apart from Dhamma Sutta in Vibhanga Pakarana, this Abhidhamma, Abhidhammata Sangaha and Manual of Abhidhamma can be very helpful. And all right, so in Abhidhammatta Sangaha, we have these chapters about the consciousness and especially chapter 5, various planes and processes of rebirth consciousness. Now I explain. So on the basis of that, I created these slides. I think that will be helpful to many of you. So in this book, we have the process freed section. There are different kinds of existence, planes of existence, and I think this is what I wanted to talk about here. So when people do good karma, like dana, sila, bhavana, dhamma, savana, like listening to dhamma, and also practice many good things, they can be born in a heavenly realm. And if you practice samatha bhavana, you can be born in a Brahma realm. I will discuss, according to the time limit, I will discuss about the process, how they do it, and how these Brahma and Deva realms are existing. And in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, I think you are, maybe some of you are familiar, most of you are hopefully familiar with that number of Devas and Brahmas, how they reverberated, how their sadhu nada was reverberated from one to the other. And the entire Chakravata, it is said, was echoed with that beautiful sound of sadhu. So calm or samatha meditation is also very helpful to suppress our defilements. Of course, that is not the final goal, but then again, we need to have that as well. We need to practice, even though it is not the final goal. Let's say dana sila bhavanasa, dana sila, for example, are also not the final goal, but they are very, very helpful. Same thing, calm samatha meditation, jhanic practices, very, very helpful, although they are not the final goals. Insight meditation definitely is the final goal. It should be samatha meditation and vipassana meditation can be helpful to each other. And this sutta has, this book has actually explained in chapter 9 all these things about the calm meditation subjects, different temperaments, purity levels, right view, paths, and different individuals, attainment, and arahantship. Yeah, more or less the same is explained in Visuddhimagga as well. I highly recommend, if you have not touched any of these books, one, Visuddhimagga, you need to read it from page to page, cover to cover. Very, very important. And then again, this sutta, this book, Abhidhammatta Sangaha, it is actually the concise summary of the entire Abhidhamma Pitaka. So it's another very important book that we have in our Theravada practice. And we have 4 kinds of life, 4 planes of life, what we call bhumi, and 4 modes of rebirth, what we call patisandhi, and 4 kinds of action, what we call karma, and 4-fold advent of death, maranupatti. And out of them, I would like to pay more attention to the 4 planes of life. So over here, we have apaya bhumi, unhappy planes. We also have kama sugati bhumi, that is sensuous, blissful planes. Apaya bhumi is always unhappy. There is no happiness, no comfort there at all, always suffering and misery infinitely. And whereas Kama Sugati Bhumi has most sensuous, blissful, comfortable worlds. We know, like even among us, humans, Some people have very miserable lifestyles. They suffer all the time. And some people have more comfortable lifestyle. We see very fortunate people in the world, maybe due to many reasons actually, not necessarily the money. Happiness does not necessarily incorporate with the money. There are many other factors to make oneself happy. So in sensuous, blissful planes, Kama Sugati Bhumi, one can also be happy, but it is not permanent. It is impermanent. Then we have Rupa Vachara Bhumi. Those are the Brahma realms after attaining jhanas. So this is actually one another hierarchical pleasure. Like sensuous pleasure, blissful planes, like the human realm is good if you are more comfortably born, if you have more well placed in your lifestyle, if you have a good job, if you are married to a good family, if you have good relatives, good parents, good friends, everything is good. And also your environment is good, your country is good, the weather is good. Everything is there, then you can be happy. For example, the recently passed away Queen Elizabeth was such a blessed person, I think. She had a very luxurious lifestyle, and she could go to anywhere in the world without a passport. She could drive without a driver's license. She cannot be arrested by anywhere in the world. I That luxury, that privilege, I think hardly anyone can have. And when she passed away recently, and I heard more than billion people watch that ceremony, funeral ceremony. Those are actually very, very powerful, uh, meritorious people. We have to accept that. But then again, nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. So Rupavachara Bhumi is more powerful. Sensuous, blissful planes, like in comparison to the human realm, the Deva realm is more powerful, more comfortable, more luxurious, more privileges, because they don't have to worry about like getting sick or feeling of those unfortunate accidents or something like that. It's not with them, so their life is more, their social security is more powerful than the humans. We see in the human realm in the recent past, how these um, pandemic, for example, and other diseases have played havoc among us. A lot of people suffered a lot. So the human realm is not so safe. No matter how powerful or how rich you are, your life is not safe. You are subject to sickness. Your life is threatened by many different ways, maybe natural disasters or many other things can happen to you. In compared to that, the heavenly realms are more comfortable, more secure. In compared to the heavenly realm, Rupavachara Bhumi, Rupavachara world is more comfortable, and you can be happier for longer time. Even as humans, you like to be happier longer, right? So in the Deva realm, you can be happier even longer. And in the Rupavachara world, you can be happier even more longer. An immaterial world, planes, Arupavachara Bhumi, you can be happier even more longer. And then these unhappy planes, Apaya, for example, woeful state, Naraka or Niraya, animal kingdom, Tirachana, and Peta sphere, Peta world, and then what we also call ghosts, and then host of asuras. So they were like demigods. They are also kinds of unhappy planes. So when people do bad karma, they can be born in any of these realms. So their life is always subject to suffering and miserable. Then there are 7 sensual blissful planes, what we call Kama Sugati, human realm, Manusa Loka, and then the realm of kings, 4 kings, Chatu Maharajika world. That is the closest Deva world that we have. The Chatu Maharajika Deva world is the closest to the human realm. And realm of 33 gods, Tavatinsa Deva realm, it is said there are many powerful devas are there, including Matruti Viraja and many other devas like Anathapindika, as I mentioned. So they are there. So the 4 kings, for example, Chatu Maharajika, they are like 4 guardian angels. And then realm of Yama gods, Yama Deva. So it is said even the death as a person, there are different kinds of maras. So one mara is the Yama. So that also he also is there in this realm. Very interesting. Realm of delightful gods, what we call Tusita Deva, is the other one. Realm of gods who rejoice on their own, Nimana Rati Deva. So they can rejoice on their own. So that is called Nimana Rati. And then realm of gods who lord over the creation of others. So Paranimita Vasavati, they can be even more stronger and more powerful in comparison to the other Deva realms. So these are the what we call Kama Sugati. Okay, then we have Kamavachara Bhumi, 11 sensuous planes, 4 unhappy planes, Apaya. Those are the 4 unhappy planes that we mentioned before. And then 7 sensuous blissful planes, Chatu Maharajika, Tavatinsa, Yama, Tusita, Nimmanarati, Paranimita Vasavati, and also the Manusa world. They are the 7 blissful planes. All of them, total 11 sensuous planes are there in the world according to Buddhist cosmology. Then we have 16 material planes, Rupavachara Bhumi. So I will come back to this about this Brahma world. For example, first jhana planes. When you attain first jhana, you will be born in Brahma Parisajya, realm of Brahma's retinue, and Brahma Purohita, realm of Brahma's ministers, and Mahabrahma realm, realm of Brahma. So over here, when you attain the first jhana, like a mild practice of first jhana, you will be born in the Brahma Parisajya world. And if you do it, if you practice it like with the middle way, little bit more than the lower practice or mild practice, you already have attained the first jhana, but it is more powerful, more stronger, more consolidated than the first person. So that person can be born in the Brahma Purohita realm. And if you practice more stronger, superior level of first jhana, they can be born as Mahabrahma. Imagine now, a lot of people think like Mahabrahma is such a powerful person, he is the creator God, and many things are there. Actually, what happens is because of their lifespan, sometimes these things can happen to them. They see the world system appear and disappear. They see many Buddhas coming and going, and they see many people born and dying, and they think, okay, I'm the one who is not dying. So maybe kind of ego, kind of ignorance can happen to them. Okay, I'm like the creator God. Anyway, so just the first jhana level. Second jhana level, again the 3 levels, as I mentioned before. Paritabhadeva, realm of minor luster. And then Appamanabhadeva, Brahma world, that is realm of infinite luster, the middle practice of second jhana. And then the superior practice of second jhana can lead you to Abhasara Brahma world, realm of radiant luster. Then the third jhana, all these jhanas actually can be practiced in 3 different levels. So the third jhana also, when you practice in 3 different levels, you can be born in Paritta Subha Brahma realm or realm of minor aura, Appamana Subha Brahma realm of infinite aura. So they are more into aura. They are more shining. Subha Kinnaka Deva, realm of steady aura. You can see that different level of jhana can be minor, infinite, and steady. And then the fourth jhana can lead someone to some more Brahma realms in more hierarchical level. Vehappala, realm of great reward. Asanya Satta, realm of being, realm of mindless being. Actually, you have to practice for that Asanya Satta. And Suddhavasas are again not related to the jhanas. Suddhavasas, these 5 Suddhavasas are called, they are actually limited only to the Arya Savakas, especially to the Anagami, non-returners. They are born here, right here. Others can also be born here. Suddhavasa. Again, I want to, I just think this is my personal perspective. Suddhavasa can be, we call it pure abode. So in Mahayana Buddhism, this can be the pure land. So they say there are bodhisattvas, there are Buddhas living in the pure land. I'm not a very good advocate of Mahayana Buddhism, but I personally feel we have some roots, some signs of this Suddhavasa world in Theravada Buddhism as well. So over here, actually the Arya Savakas, the noble Arya Savakas are born. And it is said sometimes Anagami person, when someone dies as an Anagami person, that person can be born immediately after an Arahanta person over there. And non-return means he will not return. So in that case, that person can become, he can attain Parinibbana over there in the Suddhavasa. So Aviha is realm of not falling, Atapa realm of infinite space, then Sudasa is realm of infinite consciousness, and Sudasi is realm of nothingness, and then realm of neither perception nor non-perception is Akanitta. Okay, so this is about the Brahma realm. And over here we also have 4 immaterial planes, what we call Arupavachara Bhumi. In Arupavachara Bhumi, the person who attains Samapattis, it is beyond the 4 jhanas. Akasanan Chayatana, for example, infinite space. If you keep practicing on this Akasa, space, you can attain the Samapatti called Akasanan Chayatana. And realm of infinite space is the place for them. And they are not interested in Rupa. They are not attached to Rupa. So they are mostly what we call formless. And then realm of infinite consciousness, Vijnana Chayatana again. This is another realm. Again, that's another Samapatti. then realm of nothingness, akinchanyayatana. Now we can also see the more we are into this, the emptiness and shunyata, all these powerful schools of Buddhism later on were having these roots over here. Now, akinchanyayatana, realm of nothingness. Eventually, if we try to analyze the elements of this body and everything, it is like nothingness at the end. Realm of neither perception nor non-perception, neva sanya na sanyayatana. That's again the another samapatti. So for jhanas and for samapattis are called very powerful stages. And if you remember, the Buddha's when he was Prince Siddhartha, and he had really good teachers at the beginning. For example, Asita or Kaladevala, the spiritual guidance, the spiritual coach of King Suddhodana. He already attained this. He was actually practicing these immaterial planes, arupavachara jhanas. And it is said, like, when he saw the prince, little prince, he first smiled, he was so happy, and then he cried. Why he was happy? Because he saw that little prince is going to be a Buddha one day. And then he cried. He was sad because he would not be able to meet him. He would pass away before he attained the Buddhahood. And then why would he actually have to still worry? Because in the formless realm, if you are born, you don't have ears, you don't have form, so you can actually listen to Dhamma. Unfortunately for them, they can listen to the Dhamma. Same thing happened to Buddha's other two spiritual teachers when he was practicing penances in the forest. Those Alara Kalama and Lankarama Putta. Buddha, after having attained the enlightenment, Buddha wanted to actually help them. But Buddha noticed that Alara Kalama passed away 7 days ago, and Lankarama Putta passed away just a day ago. And that time Buddha also knew that these two wonderful masters who could have easily been helped by the Buddha by just showing a little bit of Dhamma, they could attain Nibbana. But unfortunately, they were born in an Arupavachara realm, so even the Buddha could not help them. Although they are very powerful stages, these immaterial planes, these formless realms are kind of like that. So they don't have these senses. Okay, so Suddhavasa Bhumi again are very important. And then I think in the pure abodes, no worldlings are born. As I mentioned, stream winners or Sotapanna, once returner, Sakadagami can be born there. And then the Aryas or noble people, like Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta, they are Magga Phala, they are called Atta Purisa Puggala, noble 8 people. They are never born in mindless realm or woeful states. No apaya for them. Even no formless realms for them. In other planes are born both Aryas and non-Aryas. So Aryas are those who have attained the 4 stages of sainthood. All worldlings are called non-Aryas. Unless you are attaining Sotapanna, Magga or Phala, you are still Anaryan. That is the difference. So we also call like Sekha and Asekha. There is another category. Sekha is the 7 people, 7 noble people who have attained Sotapanna Magga Phala, Sakadagami Magga Phala, Anagami Magga Phala, and Arhanta Magga. Why they are called Seka? They still have to learn something little bit more. Sotapanna Magga person has to learn Sotapanna Phala, Sakadagami Magga Phala, Anagami Magga Phala, Arahanta Magga Phala. Same thing goes even to the others. Even Arahanta Magga person has to learn one more stage, that is Arahanta Phala. So these 7 people are called 7 Sekhas, Satta Sekha. And the other person, Arahanta Phala person, is called Asekha, nothing to learn anymore, all done. And then the duration of life, again, there is no definite limit to the duration of life of beings born in woeful states amongst humans and fallen asuras. So, as I mentioned, even humans can live like one asankhya, called like incalculable time. But then that can also change, vary from time to time. It is said during this, our Buddha's time, the Blessed One's Shakyamuni Buddha's time, the lifespan, average lifespan was 100 years. 100 years. So then maybe every 100 year, 1 year is becomes less. Now it is, I think after 2,500 years, it's almost 8 years. After 8 years, people, although they live even more than 100, but 8 year is actually the average lifespan today. So this age limit of the 4 kings, what we call Chatu Maharajika Deva, they have 500 celestial years. Celestial year is the Deva world. All the Deva worlds, they have celestial years. And 50 human years is equal to 1 celestial day in the Chatu Maharajika Deva world. And if they live 500 celestial years, that means according to human reckoning, it is 90 lakh. 90 lakh. That means 9 million. 9 million years. When we think of this, I think you will get a little bit more weird, but that is actually according to the teaching of the Buddhist cosmology. 33 gods, they live 4 times more than that. Delightful gods, 4 times more than that. Gods who delight in their creations, again 4 times more than that. So the more you go up in the hierarchy of this Deva world, they live more and more time. Okay, so I think yeah, there are many more things. I'm not sure if we have time to discuss all these things. All right, you say here, when it comes to the Brahma realm, Akanita Brahma realm is the last one. So there are 85,000 eons as the lifespan of them, and there is no more than that. And the woeful state, also age limit, as I mentioned, is depending on the karma. For example, some are short-lived, some are long-lived. The story of Queen Mallika we heard, she lived only 7 days in the woeful state, even though she has performed that Asadisa Mahadana, a dana that is unparalleled, but she still had a woeful thought. She had an polluted thought at the end. So Chuti Chitta was impure. Unfortunately, she was born in the woeful realm. So King Kosala came to the Buddha 7 days in a row to ask this question, where was she born? And the Buddha determined that he would not be able to remember the question. until the 7 days gone. And after that only, when he asked the question, the Buddha said, now she is born in heavenly realm. So there was a reason for the Buddha to do that. Devadatta, on the other hand, is destined to suffer for an eon. Even after achieving right here in this very life, he attained the jhanas. But then again, um, he fell from all jhanas, and then he was uh, practicing very powerful bad karma, like schism in the Sangha, and also shedding the blood of the Blessed One. Such an unfortunate person, Devadatta. Even though he had the most luxury to be associated with the Buddha in such a close proximity, Devadatta could not find the right path. Unfortunately, um, he was suffering. He was deemed to suffer for an eon, it is said. At times, earthbound deities also live only for 7 days, so their lifespan can be limited. Celestial day, as I mentioned, 50 human years equal to 1 celestial day. 30 such days amount to 1 month, and then 12 such months constitute 1 celestial year. So this is about that. And the kappa also is mentioned as that which is thought of in accordance with the analogy of mustard seeds and the rock. So it is said 1 mustard seed each is put into that place, and so long it takes, just like the kappa. 3 kinds of kappas are there: antara kappa, interim period, when the age limit of human beings rises from 10 to an indefinite time and then falls to 10 again, is known as an antara kappa. And 3 kinds of kappas: asankhya kappa, incalculable eon. 20 antara kappas equal to 1 asankhya kappa, literally incalculable cycle. Okay. And then maybe like the Mahakappa. Mahakappa, great eon. 4 asankhya kappas equal to 1 Mahakappa. This exceeds the time required to exhaust an area, a yojana in length, breadth, and height, filled with mustard seeds, by throwing away 1 seed once in every 100 years. You can imagine the times span for that. Yeah, I think with that, okay. So maybe when we talk about these karma that we want to do, all of us, we keep practicing the good karma. And for example, dana, sila, bhavana, this bodily good action, verbally good action, and mentally good action. And also when we practice these wonderful practices, not killing, not stealing, not sexual misconduct, and then also musawada, not lying, not slandering, not harsh speech, and not this vain talk or sampapalapa. And then again, the 3 manokammas, mental activities, not having covetousness or ill will or false belief, that can actually make us better people, and we can be born in better realm. And also, although we are born in better realm, the idea is not that. Actually, when we keep practicing like that, our mind becomes more and more pure, and we can keep practicing the Dhamma more and more. Then what happens? We actually can get rid of the sansaric suffering, and we can cut short the sansaric life. That is why this dana, sila, bhavana, etc. are very important. So all wholesome karmas pertaining to the karma plane. Dana, sila, bhavana, apachayana, veyyavacha, pattidana, pattanumodana, dhamma savana, dhamma desana, dittiju karma. They are very, very important. Generosity, morality, meditation, reverence, service, and transference of merit, rejoicing in others' merit, hearing the doctrine, teaching the doctrine, straightening one's views. They are all very important practices. I think with the time limit we have, I would like to stop this slideshow. Okay. Maybe if you have any question, I would like to take some. I actually have to discuss more, but I don't know, because the more profound teaching of this sutta is not necessarily this, but there are many more things. But unfortunately, the time is the problem. Any questions so far?
Yes.
Can you tell him that he say when you are in the realm of the Dhamma, because without the form, the formless, and even what we say the Dhamma in our human being language, the voice, so that invisible, the formless spirit, they get it or they don't get it, because the language, especially language, particularly language, human being.
Unfortunately, I couldn't hear you properly.
All right.
Yeah.
Mark Singling kia na.
You can say in
yeah.
English, that's okay.
Right. So she asked.
Forward, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. She asked. So whether a person who is in a formless realm can hear the Dhamma, which is taught by, which is taught in a human realm.
You mean formless?
Yes, you say earlier that, for example, when the Buddha talked to the old teacher before he passed away, and when he rearmed, and that spirit of that formless state can hear the language of the Buddha or anybody in our.
They cannot. They cannot. They have no form. So they were born in formless realm. They are actually powerful Brahma stages, yes. Very powerful jhanic stages, yes. But then they can hear anything without having a form. You don't have ears. You can see. You don't have eyes. So they really can't listen. So they will stay there as long as their jhanic power is there, and after that they will come back. And the danger is if they are born as humans and then they are out of mindfulness, maybe at the beginning they might do some good karma because they still have that practice, habit. Maybe they will be lonely, alone. You can see some people who like to be alone. I just personally, I feel like they can have some jhanic influence in the past. So people like that, they like to be alone. Some people like more social people, and some people are not like that. But then again, if you lose your concentration, mindfulness, your yoniso manasikara, you might engage in some unwholesome activities, and then you might be born in lower realms. That is the danger.
Yeah, the reason I asked this question, because like when we have our family passed away, we don't know where they go with their karma. Like we chant in our language, your language, my language, English language. So like you say, because they are in formless state. So how can the Dhamma?
I got your question. I think well, if someone is born in an arupavachara or formless realm, that is really, you don't need any transferring merit to them. They are already very high stages. Okay. And actually, why we need to help those people who passed away, not to those people who practice jhanas and all, but to those people who are born in lower realms. Lower realm people, lower realm sentient beings, they need our help. We don't know whether they are born in lower realm or whether they are born in human realm or deva world or not. But possibly you might be able to figure out if any of your relatives are born in Brahma realm, because those people who practice jhana only can be born in Brahma realm. And those people who have attained Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta definitely can be born in either heavenly realm or Brahma realm or even Suddhavasa world. So for them, no need. But those people, like many mundane average people, you have no idea where they are going to be born. And even in the lower realm, there is only a limited capacity for many. It is said Paradattu Upajivi only can um, receive the merit. So as you mentioned, how do we know? What do we do to them? And how can we communicate with them? As long as we have any tool to communicate, uh, if we can communicate with them, we don't have any communication tool. Once somebody passes away, after the last breath of that person, we don't know where that person is gone. We can communicate them, we can email them, we can call them, we can text message them, nothing. Cannot talk to them. We don't know where they are. But they might be engaging during their lifespan, they might have done some good karma. Possibly they have a better chance of being born in a good realm. And in case they are born in a lower realm, we still continue to do good karma and think of them out of compassion for them. We transfer merit from time and again. That is why actually in our Buddhist culture, we transfer merit in Theravada. I know in Sri Lankan tradition, we transfer merit to people when they pass away, like the funeral service. That time we transfer merit. And then we also transfer merit to them after 7 days. Thinking of Queen Mallikas, actually, that is the case. That is why we do that. And then we also transfer merit to people who pass away, like after 45 days or after 3 months, and annually. Why do we need to do that? We need to keep doing it. One, when you do it, it's good for you. That is very important. The more you practice dana sila bhavana, it is good for your sansara. And then you can generate that wholesome, good, positive energy. You can transfer merit to others. You can help them. Just in case they are lucky enough, fortunate enough to receive our merit, so much the better for them. Hirokuda Sutta mentioned that there are some who come to us, who hang around us. Thero kudde sutittanti sandhi singhatake sucha dwara baha sutittanti agantwana sakangaran. So sometimes those some of those spirits can come over, hang around us, and then whenever we do good things, they will be very happy. Oh, my relatives, my friends, they are going to transfer merit to them. If you do so, they are so happy. Chiranjivantu no nyati, they say. May my relatives live long. They are so happy to hear, see. And also when you do that, they will be happier and they bless you. That also is a good blessing for you. Sometimes I also would like to warn you. Sometimes you can be actually mindful about it. When you get sick, okay, when you get sick, or when you fall down, or sometimes you knock down something, or you are hurt or something like that, think of some of those departed ones. This is again my personal perspective. that can be maybe due to some reason they wanted to communicate with you. They are frustrated, maybe a little bit aggressive. They are a little bit angry because you did not transfer merit to them. So then think of them and transfer merit to them. Practice dana, sila, bhavana. Think of your departed ones. You don't know, maybe many unknown departed relatives can also be there. So when you transfer merit, think of all of them. Think of all of them out of pure heart, compassion, loving kindness to them, transfer merit. So if they are lucky, they might be able to receive your merit, be happy. So very complicated situation, but we can do that actually. That makes sense. And then you might also notice that things are going better in your life. Once you practice dana, I have heard many stories like that. So once they do, we need to actually, when we transfer merit, we have to be precise. We have to be very focused when you transfer merit. In our Buddhist tradition, we use that empty bowl and the water, bowl full of water, and that's very important. You have to be really focused when you do that. And maybe sometimes when you do that, you might even feel goosebumps. Maybe some of the relatives can receive merit.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay.
There are questions. Yes. We have 5 more minutes. Don't worry. Do you have any question?
I think Dhammahade Sutta has one more part that I could not elaborate today. I was more focusing on the Buddhist cosmology part, but even that I could not cover. This is such a long subject, but hopefully someday I might be able to continue. Yeah, I appreciate for you inviting me to this topic. Hope it was helpful. The most important, as I mentioned for you, like these are all infinite. Although you are born in a Brahma realm, there is no guarantee that you are not born as in the lower realm. You can still be born in the lower realm. Only guaranteed stage that you will never be born in the lower realm is when you attain Sotapanna. So as Buddhists, this is the best thing. We all have to think of this stage, Sotapanna. During this lifetime itself, do not wait for Maitreya Buddha to come. We don't know. We have no guarantee after this what will happen to us. Do not wait. We don't know how long it takes also. How many lifetimes we don't know. It's not definitely not like in the next 100 years. Not next 2,500 years, in fact. Maitreya Buddha will not be born. So how many lifetimes we'll have then? How many births we will have then? So please think of that. This is such a wonderful, wonderful golden opportunity for all of us to be born as humans. And only as human beings, you can attain Samma Sambuddha, you can attain Pacceka Buddha, you can attain Arahanta Bodhi. This is the only realm that has such privileges, achievements. And as Devas, Brahmas, they can attain only Arahanta. Only humans have those two extra Samma Sambuddha and Pacceka Buddha attainments. We today cannot become Samma Sambuddha. Okay, although some people claim themselves to be Buddha, don't fall into that trap. You cannot become a Pacceka Buddha now also, because during one Buddha's lifespan, their Pacceka Buddhas are not born into this world. And then we have one more option. That is Arahanta, Arahanta Bodhi. We can attain Arahanta Bodhi. The Buddha said, as long as the Dhamma is there, as long as you practice the Dhamma, the world will not be empty of Arahants. So there is a chance, golden opportunity for all of us. Dhamma is there. There are wonderful, wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends all around the world. Please associate them. If you find a good Dhamma friend, do not leave that person. Stay in touch with such people, even though they are so far away from you. Stay in touch with them. Very, very important. Listen to Dhamma talks as much as you can, and then also keep practicing, having the Yoniso Manasikara, having the Kalyana Mitta friend association with you, and then keep continuously listening to Dhamma can help expand, help open your Dhamma eye. I wish you all the very best of luck, long life and good health, so that you can find that golden opportunity to open the Dhamma eye, Dhamma Chakkung Udapadi. If you do that, if you can do that, you will be so happy about your um, birth as a human being. And as a Buddhist, this is our final goal, nothing else. Although we can have some other mundane goals, but this should be our final goal. At least to be Sotapanna should be our final goal. And of course, if you are Sotapanna, Sattakhattu Parama, within 7 births, you can attain the final liberation. And once you are in the Sotapanna stage, there is no U-turn. No U-turn. But you attain jhanas, samapatis, there can always be U-turn. But Sotapanna is the permanent, definite goal that we can attain. With that, we can go to our final liberation. And there we can actually decode the mystery of samsaric circle. I hope it was helpful to all of you. Okay, Chandimahandura.
Thank you so much, Sumitta. We are
Okay,
so
then
privileged to have your Dhamma talk. Especially, I think they learn a lot of things. Especially about all the three kinds of realms, which were very useful. If you were listening well. So he described. We can't describe them so in details, but Bhante managed and gave you a good description about them. And on behalf of all the devotees and my master Bhante Buddhi and Bhante Rahul and Bhante Sumitta, I'm so grateful, and we sincerely thank and share merits with Sumithandro. So we wish may all this positive energy be especially with Bhante Sumitta, and by the power of all this positive energy, may he be able to continue his Dhamma practice, and may he gain longevity and mental and physical comfort to move forward in the Dhamma path. And finally, may he be able to attain real peace, Nibbana.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I also would like to take this opportunity to invoke blessings upon Bhante Amarabuddhi, Bhante Chandima, Bhante Rahula, and all the Mahasangha members of the temple, and also all these wonderful people who are listening to this Dhamma talk, and all those people who support this Buddhi Vihara, and those friends, those well-wishers, and may you all be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever you are. May no harm come to you from water, fire, air. May the noble triple gem bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May all the Brahmas and all the Devas and all the Kalyana Mitta friends bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May you all be able to live your life peacefully, comfortably, with good health. May all your departed ones be able to share this merit, receive this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever they are. May all Devas, Brahmas, or sentient beings also receive this merit, share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever they are. May all of us, all the Mahasangha members, all the devotees, all friends, everyone in the world, all sentient beings, seen and unseen, humans and unhumans, may all of us and all of them be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking that, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Vakasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahindrika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu sasanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahindrika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu brahmadesanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahindrika Yantang
Tanganumoditva chirandakantu
Antu
mangparang.
Abhivadana silis nichang vadha pachaino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvangno sukhang balang ayurarogya sangpatti sagga sangpatti mevache ato nibbana sangpatti Iminate samijjatu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thiruvan Saranai, Handrani.
Saranai.
Thiruvan Saranai. Thank you so much. So, dear Dhamma friends,